Between 1945 and 1948, Stalin employed salami tactics to establish communist governments in Eastern Europe that became his satellite states. It was always Stalin's wish to have a communist sphere of influence surrounding the Soviet Union for protection, and since the Soviet Union had liberated the Eastern European countries under Nazi control, there was a Soviet Red Army presence in most of these countries. While Stalin had promised in the Yalta Conference to hold fair elections, this was never going to be the case. While it might have looked like Stalin was holding fair elections, he would rig elections, use the secret police to intimidate political opponents, or just ban other political parties altogether. The US responded to Soviet expansion with a policy of containment, primarily through the Truman Doctrine of 1947 that promised aid to any countries under threat from outside influence or pressure of takeover, which was, of course, referring to the Soviets' attempted takeover of Europe. To carry out the Truman Doctrine, the Marshall Plan was established in 1948. The Marshall Plan offered massive economic aid to rebuild war-torn Europe, aiming to reduce the appeal of communism. There were around $13 billion of aid provided by the Americans to Europe, which seemed like an act of aggression to Stalin. He labeled it dollar imperialism and accused America of trying to create an empire by having countries relying on their financial support. To respond to this American aggression, Stalin tried to tighten control of Eastern Europe further, with the introduction of Cominform in 1947, as a response to the Truman Doctrine, and Comecon in 1949, as a response to the Marshall Plan. Cominform ensured that all satellite states were under more direct control of Stalin, with all countries following the same rules. Comecon ensured that the trade and economies of all the satellite states were tied together. It was supposed to bring the countries together so that they could all help each other rebuild. While it was supposed to be a joint partnership, it was strictly controlled from Moscow. It was clear from these developments that America and the Soviet Union were on a separate path, directly opposed to each other.